Have you stayed in contact with anyone from the wrestling world that you used to travel with?
Well, I don't know about in contact, but definitely, every now and then I run across them or I call them. There's Steve Blackman is one of them. I run across Mark the Undertaker a few times. I can't remember offhand, but I just did, about 6 weeks ago, I went and saw these guys in the East Coast when I was down there doing some commentating. I went by the show and I saw all the boys there. Malenko, Dean Malenko, Hardy. There was probably half the guys there I didn't know.
Yeah, because there's just such a big turnover rate in the company.
Yeah, it is, and I tell you, and again too, when you've been in it and you kind of the time, it goes by your time a little bit, and you hear it all the time. You just don't see the things that you'd like to see in there. There's just so much, flash and fast, and there's really no story. It's not like the good old days with Stone Cold and Bret Hart and Mark and Kane and just guys telling a story, and Impact, and you just don't have it. It's more lucha libre, where it's all fast all the time and flips, and that's good. But every match is just should be some stories told,
Well, yeah, they still have a large audience, but the viewership has gone down quite a bit since you left. What would you say the reasoning is behind that?
I think it's changing the guard. Fortunately for Vince, he was able to. When Shawn dropped off, he had Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the Undertaker's always good for bringing things in. There's just right now, there's just nobody there that drew like Hulk Hogan and or Macho Man or the Warrior, or Undertaker or Steve Austin or Bret Hart. They don't have that guy right now.
Alicia Webb, she played the character of Ryan Shamrock, your sister, and in real life you dated her for a bit as well, I believe. How was it like working with her, and are there any truth to the rumors that they were thinking of doing a incest angle on television?
Yeah, they were, and it was good to work. But that right there, I think, changed my vision towards where I wanted to go in the WWE. I really thought that was something that really would affect my children, and I had to go to Vince and I had to tell him, I can't do this. And I think Vince was a little upset at me that I wouldn't do it, and I just I had to weigh it out, and I thought, kids at 5 and 7 and 10 years old don't understand that this is entertainment. They look at it and they think it's fun, and these guys are beating each other up, and all these things are happening. And I just felt like me doing something like that, and my children really not understanding that, I thought it would hurt them. So I went to talk to Vince and tell him no, and I got beat for 3 months after that. So it didn't work out so well, but I just couldn't do it.
Well, it's been great having you on today, Ken. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us here on the main event. And my last question to you is, what does the future hold for Mr. Shamrock? And do you aspire to return to the octagon or a wrestling ring, or are you satisfied with training the next generation of fighters?
Both. I'm going to return to the ring. I'm going to train the next generation of fighters, and I'm opening a chain of gyms right now across the United States to build this business. And on each of those gyms, we're doing elite fighting teams, and we're going to build one of the strongest fighting teams in the world.
All right. Thanks for coming on, Ken. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
That was Ken Shamrock here in the main event. Another great interview, as it's been an action-packed show today.
Yeah, it was great to have him on, and I think we got to cut right now to none other than the picks for tonight's pay-per-view. I know it's gotten scrambled up and all this stuff here, but let's get right to it. We've got Neil walking in from Sitting In coming up next following the main event, 2 hours of jazz music. I actually checked out the Jazz Fest last night. I saw Charles Walker. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he was very good coming from the United States to sing. I also watched some of the groove stage things, different things. Check it out, the Jazz Festival going on right now in Montreal. I'm sure Neil will talk much more about that on his program coming up. But let's get